Psygib versus DaHanG is the next spectacular that we have on our hands here. It should be an absolute banger, as I'm joined by Jahar to guide us through.
Hopefully this time with 80% fewer ghosts in me. So
Maybe, hopefully.
I want to keep the other 20%. They're handy. Yeah. But thanks for the patience, everybody. Yeah, this is going to be a hell of a matchup. DaHanG, there's nothing to say about DaHanG that hasn't already been said. Psygib keeps giving us new things to say about him, though. Absolutely diligent player, takes it incredibly seriously. And a matchup like this, I'm sure he's got his brow furrowed and he's ready for battle.
Well, let's go straight into the veto then and have a look how this matchup is actually shaping up. DaHanG, obviously the liquid brother of Rafa facing off versus Psygib here. In terms of the maps, opening it up over on Awoken. Another Awoken start, always a nice little treat. And that is going to be BJ versus Ranger.
Yeah, BJ Ranger, yeah, again, like things like the Dire Orb just end up being so handy, so useful, as we saw in the last match with Avic and Cypher on Runes of Sarnath. Bringing the BJ to bear, we'll have to see if he can just handle with the raw damage output. Playing around that, though, ends up being such a big deal. The first Nyx we're seeing today, and the first Scale Bear, of course, Psygib has done some amazing things with Psygib in the with Scale Bear in the past. Nyx is a ballsy choice these days, but on Blood Covenant, you couldn't ask for a more ideal map.
Yeah, double light. A lot of exciting action to be had there as we delve into the second. And obviously, as you said, the map that's going to be rounding it out, it's on Molten. We couldn't ask for a better finish. It is a nice bookend to a series. And that is Scalebearer versus Eisen. DaHanG doesn't mind throwing a lot of Eisen in there. Scalebearer, though, it's always a sneaky little pick. You never really know what you're going to get from it because it can be quite a mixed bag. Psygib, definitely one of the players that I do prefer seeing on it, at least. You know, he's up there with him and Rafa when they bust it out. You're like, all right, fair enough. He knows what he's doing with that bad boy.
Yeah, and it's like DaHanG forgot to call Strog earlier on, and Psygib forgot to ban him until the last possible moment. But I got to hand it to Psygib. He seems to kind of have a leg up there for removing Strog from Molten Falls, such a high-speed character. Balancing that against a Scale Bear, we're going to have to see how it goes.
We will do indeed. As it could be a bit of a sticky predicament for DaHanG when we get into that final map. But let's not ahead of ourselves. We'll bring it back. Awoken being the first one, as we will have BJ versus Ranger. Obviously, Awoken, the Dire Orb's got a few sneaky orb jumps that you can do with it. For BJ, again, it's just going to be trying to force him back, potentially use more of the scare tactics with that dual wield.
Yeah, again, first spawns are going to be something I harp on just because they give you your initial play for weapons. Depending on how aggressive you can get coming off of a rock launcher spawn, you can get there first and kind of force a fight to happen there, or leave it, go get yourself an LG, and kind of allow the map to take a more even keel. But here we go, keel or not, Psygib versus DaHanG, map 1 on Awoken.
Let's see if they are nice and woke up for this one. Who will be the sleeping giant once we get into the game?
All right, but Psygib getting a spawn there, dropping down towards Heavy immediately, taking away that rocket launcher and even doing some damage. So they both collide on the same side of the map, which means it's a bit of a race to get back over towards the LG. A race that Psygib has taken, but I believe at this point, DaHanG's also got himself a railgun. So Psygib wants to stay high and dry. Certainly better than being low and moist, but he's finally going to get himself his own rail.
Initial confrontations on pretty standard. Rocket coming out, finally a bit of a dink going down, and DaHanG is actually losing a bit of his stack. Psygib setting up from a distance, was hoping to use that railgun to run away with things. Couldn't deny the pickup of the Mega either. DaHanG's now got mid-control, slipping over, but he's actually getting rather aggressive, charging in at high speeds. He's trying to chase. Psygib a good movement straight up the bounce pad, and where does he play from here?
Well, after taking that rail, he's immediately got to make some defensive decisions. That defensive rocket, though, it's making a lot of choices for him. It's going to justify this play over towards the heavy armor. And I love that DaHanG's stuck in this corner. Even committing to the Dire Orb, it was like a do or dire. Going to be Psygib getting out on top of that situation either way. So the first frag on the first map going to Psygib sets a hell of a precedent. We'll see if we can keep it up.
Psygib coming in, doing a lot of damage with the LG, but it wasn't enough. DaHanG topples him, overthrows as he'll crumble away to dust, leaving them 1-1 when the dust does settle. Rockets firing out from either side. DaHanG trying to play aggressive with the rocket jump as he launches himself in, picks up the railgun as well. See if this newly found weapon will be a good asset to his arsenal.
He's going to have to up his arsenal here pretty soon. Yeah, it's not enough, especially with the latent Dire Orb coming out of DaHanG, taking the lead 2-1. Almost nailing him with the rail right out of the TP. Not quite getting it, but putting a lot of pressure on Psygib as he wants to edge towards this Mega. There's still 8 seconds of ambiguity there, however. 8 seconds for DaHanG to kind of get the run of it and still come back in strong for this aggressive play. But here comes the dual LG. Maybe DaHanG forgot just how crazy that could be. Got himself stuck, and that ties it back up 2-2. Oh, so aggressive. Oh my god. Beautifully done, though. And there's the rail off of the spawn. Fortunately not getting knocked out of the map. But DaHanG immediately has all this pressure on Psygib. Psygib has nothing here. He can maybe get some LG damage off to weaken him for the next fight, but he needs to get a good spawn for it, needs to get good weaponry. And DaHanG even falling down there. That could have played into Psygib's hands, but DaHanG's got a rail in his own, making him more than dangerous. Oh my god. Oh. Despicable. Absolutely despicable.
Beautiful stuff. Good footwork from DaHanG. The flicks have been coming out very nicely for him. Good adjustment on the route as well. Pushes back over, knows he's by the Mega, tries to punish as he'll Dire Orb in aggressively, and the rockets start to come out. DaHanG is soaring ahead now. It was a nice little opener, quite back and forth between them both. DaHanG, give him an inch, he'll take an absolute mile. And this man is really racking up a few miles now. Fires out the getaway rockets. He is chased down. Psygib will finally slay it.
See, the Imperial system's not so bad, is it? But 3 on 6, and really DaHanG's rails are opening up a lot of these fights. Putting Psygib in a place where it's like, all right, I just took 90 damage. I was on my way to LG. Do I change my mind? Do I try to double back? Do I try to get defensive or try to chunk him down before he can take me out? Either way, it's been rough going for Psygib here, but still only 3 frags. That 3 just feels like such a gulf at this point. Psygib heading back over towards Heavy. 2 seconds to it. DaHanG's going to be back over towards LG instead. Psygib really wants some free damage while he knows that DaHanG can't put much pressure on him, but it's not going to be coming for free.
No, this will certainly be costly. Psygib turns the corner. Ooh, fires out the rail, but it won't actually slam down onto DaHanG just yet. He's bypassed him straight through the teleporter. Psygib not going for the pickup onto the Mega either. Instead, was trying to waste a bit of time and get closer. He has almost synced up both of the major item spawn timers as well, so be quite happy with his feat so far. Sends him flying further back as the rockets are coming out. Can't quite land them. He needs to get them off and stop him from being able to claim the Heavy. He's picked it up. Will he still be able to finish him?
I was like, LG, machine gun, anything, but he got the frag in. And yeah, synchronizing the items does him a little bit of good. It means if DaHanG's going for Mega, he can make the safer play towards Heavy and still get something out of it. So it's a defensive gambit. Saying that, though, DaHanG just got away with Mega, which means that the fight for this armor is not going to be easy. But dual rockets, dual LG, just outside of range. DaHanG comes inside range, though, and kind of opens himself up for that frag. That was kind of an own goal on DaHanG there, but 5-6. Really good damage off the spawn, but DaHanG's rockets are still scary.
5 minutes 50 on the clock. A lot of time has already passed here on Awoken, but DaHanG's only 1 frag ahead, so hanging on by a thread. Still a lot to do for Psygib, though, if he wants to bring it back, and that's certainly a way to start it. Nice tax from the rail, trying to take him down with HMG, but no. He got him close, but couldn't quite topple him over the edge. The chase here could work. The rail shots just aren't landing. He's firing off the warning rockets as well, straight up the bounce pad. The Dire Orb initiation, and DaHanG actually takes it away.
I'm a little bit mad that it played out that way, because Psygib's whip around rockets were so beautiful, just barely whiffing on the Dire Orb. So, you know, full credit to DaHanG Psygib was doing what he could, which is why it's a 2 frag gap instead of a 20. That being said, DaHanG defending this heavy armor, waiting out the dual wield. 10 seconds for Mega though, so Psygib's whole idea of I can go get Mega when he's getting heavy and vice versa might not be working out all that well for him. Fortunately for him, DaHanG was still a couple seconds off of his Dire Orb, so he couldn't be immediately aggressive, but there's the pickup, there's the steal, and Psygib's gotta leave. Just go home. Go home, Steve.
Out he goes, running away. The backstab coming around from DaHanG as he'll go flying in with the LG out. He's trying to take him down, and not tonight. Psygib finally being able to get his number and stop him with that lightning gun. 7 minutes have passed. It's certainly a close matchup between these two. They're trying to keep it good for us to give us a spectacle. And that was the Mary Poppins play as DaHanG will send him flying up into the air.
Contrary to popular belief, DaHanG does know how to look up. He does have a neck. Waiting out for this, not sure what he was waiting there for, but Psygib thought he would bring the fight to him at a place with no tactical value at that moment. And so DaHanG's getting a lot of free damage here. Psygib has heavy armor to potentially go for. He's waiting for him out of the teleporter though. This is him drawing the line in the sand. If he doesn't win this fight, he doesn't get heavy, he doesn't get Mega, he doesn't get anything. You lose. Good day, sir. But there's the heavy. Mega's still going to go to DaHanG for that banana corner spawn. But this is okay for Psygib. It's not the worst trade to make.
Coming up, reposition around. Psygib. It's a little bit of splash damage. He slows him in his tracks so he can't get overly confident. Still a bit of confidence left in him. Dire Orb in though! And, the drag round the corner from the shotgun as he'll really hit him up close and personal with the old big papa. DaHanG still keeping moving as well. The shotgun gets 2 frags now as he is putting these up above the mantelpiece.
That was beautiful. DaHanG though, a little bit worse for wear. Gonna take a quick pit stop for some health. And Psygib's still chasing into 40, 50, 60, 90 damage hits. He just will not let go of that W key. But 7 to 11.
1 minute.
Yeah, DaHanG probably has Awoken in hand now, but what a back and forth game this was up until the last minute. I'm speaking in future talk there, of course, but DaHanG still taking away that Mega. Psygib still mad, throwing out as much as he can. And DaHanG almost getting murdered by the door frame. Cannot trust door frames in this game.
Trust DaHanG from this angle either. Tri-bolt getaway. He's trying to make it explosive. The shots are certainly doing a lot of damage at keeping him further back. The shotgun is out on parade, and for Psygib, that's all he needed to actually push this back into a good position. Now, not a lot of time left though. That's the main point. He's not going to be able to overcome that final hurdle of actually pushing it in his favor. DaHanG's just roaming as well, keeping it at length.
The dual Quake 4 rocket launcher is just a beautiful sight to behold, but even more beautiful, Psygib's rails here. Well, 3 seconds left. It's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be GG's for Psygib and DaHanG. Well, one map at least. Hopefully it doesn't set the tone entirely going into it. Looking at accuracies, things are actually pretty tight here. 35 and 33% LG, respectively. 40 and 47% rail. There's a lot of hope here going into the next map. Maybe a little more balance, maybe.
I mean, it was close, and it was back and forth enough that obviously, like, we can't just, you know, stick a fork in it and say it's done. There's a whole lot more that could come out from it from Psygib as long as he carries
Psygib likes
on
that kind of thing,
level.
though. So, you know, it's, yeah, a little bit of extra puncture. But that Nyx coming into the next map on Blood Covenant. This is a fairly classic setup, but one that has been used with caution and trepidation as of late. Psygib bringing it out now against DaHanG Slash, one of the best slashes in the game. Yeah, I hope everybody's buckled in.
Yeah, get the seatbelts ready for this one, as it should be quite a good affair. Blood Covenant coming up next then. Both of them on the light champions. So obviously a lot of speed to be played for. Slash, always fun. We get that Plasma Trout coming out and DaHanG on it. He's a bit of a mastermind. He takes a lot of mischief out on the server when he's on these fast-paced champions. So no surprises here that it could be a spectacle.
He never smiles, but all of his mischief comes out in gameplay. He's always smiling on the inside. Stone cold on the outside, though, and Psygib, I think, has been a protege of that. We don't get to see it on LAN next week, of course, and we don't get to see BPM monitors, so I guess we'll just have to do our best guess.
Yeah. See what emotion is going to be coursing through them. Hopefully, at this point, it's him looking out for revenge. A very close first map, and it's a good sign. At least he was keeping it that competitive. Obviously, Psygib, he's been climbing the ranks. He's been doing a whole lot more in terms of proving himself recently, and it's been represented by the fact he broke into the top 10. Currently, only 6 ranks apart from DaHanG as well, which in itself is a huge feat to have to his name right now.
Absolutely. Of course, Blood Covenant. There's no ambiguity of who's played the map more or whether somebody is a little bit weaker on it. Like, this is a map you have to be strong on to be competitive in Quake. Absolutely must have. But as we get into it, we got DaHanG, we got Psygib, Nyx, and Slash. We're watching Psygib get started here. He's getting a spawn opposite rail, which is going to be incredibly handy. But DaHanG, with that speed, is able to at least put pressure on the rail right out of the gate, which is a little bit touch and go for Psygib, but he's still here. Still getting the grab, still getting the pickup, not taking a whole lot of damage. DaHanG just kind of checking in with him, knowing that DaHanG can get back over towards the Mega immediately. At this point, DaHanG will have just about everything but a rail. And Psygib wants to make sure it stays that way.
Rocket comes
Has to
through.
pop that.
Yeah, was forced out of the Ghost Walk immediately and actually nearly pays the price for it as well. Brought down very low. He has to run off. Luckily, the timing works out from Tarad just on the seams. The spawn comes up for the Mega. He'll take that. He'll also start to hoover up as many hourglasses as he can find, as he'll want to take those out of the hands of DaHanG, but more importantly, get that Ghost Walk back up.
It was a bad trade for Psygib, though, having to take away that Mega while giving literally everything else to DaHanG. Hopefully it's worth it for him. I don't want to say he's trying to lay a trap down here at LG. This is usually where you get trapped. But he's got the Ghost Walk in case things go sideways. And Psygib just using the sound to create a little bit of distance there. Another pickup of Mega might actually be worth it this time, as DaHanG is keeping his back to the heavy, which means he's got it to go pick up, but it also means that Psygib will have a better understanding of the timing. Yep, there's DaHanG finally getting the pickup. And if Psygib kept his eyes out of that teleporter a little bit longer, he might have seen DaHanG come back out of it. Oh, but now he doesn't know the timing himself.
Psygib waiting in the blood pool, hoping to spill some more across the floor. Perfect timing as he gets the drop on him, fires off the rail. Now begins to roam, but the rockets are forcing him back. He can't actually overextend with this. His stack is far too low. If he did commit, it could have been good night for him immediately, and it would have been DaHanG tucking him into bed. Instead, he puts himself up on the ledge, scavenges a couple of items to work with, fires off the rockets. There is a connection. Now they're back into a very similar point. The trade to the rails as well. They're playing a mirror matchup right now.
Yeah, either way, we're all set here for story time. The damage has been fairly light between them. Psygib fortunately has his headset on tight. The little audio keys on the skating and on some of the time shard pickups have been saving his life time and time again, narrowly avoiding that last rail. Still 0-0. As DaHanG is just making a lot of sound, keeping Psygib's head on a swivel. But what has Psygib been getting out of all of this? Not a whole lot. He's 150, ducking back across to the other side, and DaHanG was expecting them to come through the doorway. Right now, a 57 damage rocket from across the map is huge. But Psygib is still railable, and there it is. I was like, how fast is his finger on the Ghost Walk trigger? Not fast enough.
Oh my god, the spam that's actually coming out right now from Psygib, it makes it work! Every shot, time after time, was connecting. It was the longest fight he could take, and it paid off.
DaHanG's sight is movement-based, after all.
He's
All right, more damage coming out of the machine gun. It worked once, it'll work again.
Oh, that'll certainly work with
Indeed.
the railgun.
It did. Now Psygib just needs to get himself back over towards Mega, taking a quick rocket launcher on the way. That's exactly what DaHanG is going to try to cut off from him with the slime trail. It's not too late for the play on the Mega, but is it wise? Well, I guess so. It worked out. He kind of came out even Steven on the health stack. 10 seconds to armor, and he got a 70 damage rocket out of that. That is free damage, and that is a free rail, and Psygib has a 3 frag lead. Amazing for him.
Psygib, hugely ahead now. But it's still very early doors into the matchup, so we can't be giving this one away for free just yet. So wait and see if the comeback is there from DaHanG, or what will go down. Peeking with the rails, reminiscent of the fight we saw previously. No big connections from Psygib. Instead, he opts to get a little bit closer, get a bit more aggressive, and make his move slowly over towards the heavy pickup, as it is up in about 2 seconds. Already suspecting the peak coming around from DaHanG. The call was correct, but will the connections be there? Turns the corner, DaHanG's backed off, so he rocket jumps out of there.
And I like this. The thing that has to be said about the last 2 frags is it will now take a real mistake from Psygib to mess it up. But or if you're Nyx, just forget just how brittle you are. Pushed up against the wall, Nyx doesn't stand a chance. But still 2 frags up for Psygib. Oh, but there's the drop down immediately. Didn't hear him that time. And Psygib has to play defensively, but he doesn't know which way to look. And nearly catches another rocket to the face. 44 health, has to recover. Going for a rail here is risky, to say the least. But now he's got Ghost Walk back. DaHanG is looking at a great stack, and again, Psygib is trying to slow down the map by hanging out down by the LG and shotgun. Not a great place to be caught. You have to hear DaHanG coming.
Tri-bolt across. Backs off, makes his move onto the heavy instead, and realized that was his opportunity to strike. He turns back around the corner. Mega is going to be there to work with, and DaHanG wants to get some chip damage off to at least try and strip some of that beneficial bonus health off of Psygib. Plays the off angle with the rail. Can't actually get it out. No reason to. Every time, there's just seconds between him having a chance to do so much damage, and the reposition from Psygib. Tri-bolt barely going to miss as well.
This is okay. It's tight timing between the Mega and the Heavy. Which means even if DaHanG commits to going to get a Heavy, that actually puts him in a more predictable position for a little while. Now, that little double back could actually cost Psygib, because now DaHanG, on his exit from the Mega, yeah, Psygib is going to be down here instead of in a more useful position. So there's no free damage coming out of that, but it's still fairly neutral. DaHanG didn't get any information out of that Tri-bolt. Psygib's getting a lot of information, ambiguous as it is, from the teleporter sounds it. And there's a great rocket. Dives in face first, but he's got the Ghost Walk to stay alive. And head back over towards the Heavy, but DaHanG wants it so bad. Fortunately for Psygib, that means that he can trade with the Mega. Not a terrible play from him. Oh no, but here comes DaHanG out of nowhere with the rockets, with the rails. Psygib is trying not to touch the ground. The floor is literally lava as the plasma trail takes him down. 1 frag between them now.
DaHanG straight up, and woo, the tag from Psygib, the rocket in midair, blowing him to pieces. He will be done for. It's a good way to get himself into the game. Psygib, he has not dropped anything from his transition over here. If anything, he's come into this one even more aggressive, and the brutality is on display. He's still got a ton of time as well to build himself a bigger buffer. Jumps over the rail, gets the tags out himself as he's being very effective at puncturing him from a distance. Just needs a little bit more. DaHanG's trapped back over by Heavy.
Psygib keeping the upper ground just for a moment. It's not useless just yet for DaHanG, though. I like that Psygib's gone high over from Heavy. Nearly caught him with the angle for that rail, but you can see why small movement changes can play such a huge role in matchups like this when they're both so fast. You need to get that rail angle, and if you're a quarter of a second too late, you're not going to get it. Right now, Psygib on the run. This has been bad news for him before. Trying to defend with the rockets, does really good damage, but DaHanG still manages to not quite tie things up. He's still 1 frag down. But down here at the Heavy armor, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I mean, this is what got Psygib the lead initially. Just, you know, spam the machine gun. That'll do its job. DaHanG, though, surviving off of that Mega. He's got 1 slug for that rail. It's kind of a risky drop, even. because Psygib is coming back in here. DaHanG just used that one slug to give away his position. And heading back over towards Heavy, Psygib is going to be ready for this fight.
1 minute.
Well, I want to say he's ready. DaHanG wants him to be ready more. Holy crap. He just wants to force that Ghost Walk and get some slugs.
One frag down. Speed in play, though, as he's trying to head heavy-handedly. He's taken a real chunk of damage on that peak, though. And now this is not an ideal spot to be in. Both the major items are gone. They're coming up in around 20 seconds. He drops down, has to scavenge some of the smaller boys to assist him going forward. The railgun shots are quite dominant, however, but the flicks are catching up. It'll be the snapshot to overthrow Psygib, tying it 5-5 apiece with just mere seconds left.
That shotgun nearly did it for Psygib. I was about to say that, you know, the most major item for Psygib right now are the time capsules. That Ghost Walk is what's going to buy him the time, but just barely he couldn't hold on to it, and now he's got to force one more frag as we go into sudden death. Same thing for DaHanG, of course.
Sudden
And with
death.
90 and 90. This is good initial damage as Psygib gets away with a railgun. 6 seconds to either item, and yeah, DaHanG has to listen to see which way Psygib goes. To either decide to make it a neutral pickup, swapping items, or going aggressive. He wasn't sure which it was going to be himself. Nice travel. Such a satisfying sound.
Five seconds have passed. The life potentially going to start flashing by Psygib's eyes as well. If DaHanG keeps this up, the shots for the rails have been relatively on point. He waits for the Mega Spawn to come up. We'll be able to claim it. It's going to be a split on the major items, but just as he gets it, DaHanG rears his head, peeking round the corner. Plasma Trail's going to detonate. He drops down into the blood pool, holding his ground for now, launching back up the bounce pad and just trying to create distance between them both.
In the old days when you saw Nyx versus even a heavier champion, a lot of the play came down to do not get in an engagement unless you have Ghost Walk ready to go. He's still 10 seconds from it. This is bad news because this is where DaHanG got the game-tying frag before. But now DaHanG's going to give it up, go back in for the heavy armor. 2 seconds to Ghost Walk, and Psygib might be able to go on the aggressive. DaHanG's making a lot of noise down here by the LG, trying to be ambiguous about which way he's exiting, because right now he just has to avoid. The endgame here is going to be getting some 25s and getting the initial rocket or rail off on Psygib as he tries to push in. Psygib just kind of baiting the shot. Oh, but there's the rail right in his ass. It's okay, Psygib can still take away Mega. Kind of surprised the small armor down below isn't ready yet, as DaHanG takes away another heavy armor. But right now, DaHanG's endgame is do enough damage to force the Ghost Walk, and then use that 20 seconds to finish the frag.
Wow. Both have their abilities to work with. Plasma Trail is also up. DaHanG is looking to just use his raw gun skill to actually overcome into this overtime, it seems, as he peeks out with the rail and was hoping to get that shot to land. No connection yet. The deviation back certainly works. LG's on parade as the follow-up from the Tri-Bolt. The shots just aren't landing.
That said, DaHanG's still putting a lot of damage down on some of these corners. Psygib's got to be careful about which ones he comes around. Mutual rails, mutual whiffs. DaHanG's a little bit light on ammo. He's going to need to take a pit stop to go back for that railgun pickup pretty soon here, but there's the play over towards the heavy armor. DaHanG knew that Ghost Walk was going to happen, but now he also knows that he's got 30 seconds or so where Psygib doesn't have that option. This is where the free damage happens. But DaHanG's not just rushing in on him. He wants to pull Psygib out of this corner, out of this defensive position, and force him into a more flatland fight where he can catch him with rails first. There's the opening rail. Won't take too many more of those to finish it. Psygib's in trouble. He's got nowhere to go. DaHanG on the jump pad, and there's the LG to finish the map. DaHanG making a great comeback and really playing out that overtime exactly how it had to be done.
Yeah, DaHanG just staying in it to win it. Staying cool as a cucumber as he carries on. Obviously, twice now we've seen him being able to come through a grueling matchup against Psygib and just overcome in the final few segments.
fantastic stuff. Like, you could see every decision being made there in real time. There was very little about that matchup that wasn't calculated. I mean, Psygib was making the same calculations at the same time, but he just had to look at the answer and go, crap. It's not a lot I can do there. Not once I've been, baited out of my defensive corner, caught on a jump pad with the rail. If I go for railgun, that puts me out on a bad catwalk anyway. So yeah, he kind of found himself in a bad space. So Psygib really was doing the right thing by staying in that time shard corner, but he needs to have a cleaner exit once it's clear that he can't stay. But we're going from the lightest Psygib we've ever seen to the heaviest Psygib we've ever seen. Scalebearer coming up here on Molten Falls.
Exactly. That is the change that will definitely be a bit of a predicament for both of these players. Scalebearer coming through for Psygib. He's going to go large and in charge with those sandals and hope to cause a bit of damage. Meanwhile, you've got, of course, Eisen for DaHanG. Molten Falls, not really the best map for an Eisen. Again, there's only a couple of maps where really that turret can be relatively annoying. At best, it's just going to be a matter of delay tactics and wasting time. I'm curious to see how beneficial the Psygib scale is going to be, though.
Yeah, this is where you really just turn your turret into a free range happy turret. Scalebearer though, there's a few things you can do. It's kind of handy having some of that corner control, but yeah, hopefully the extra stack is worth it for Psygib. I mean, he came so close to taking down DaHanG in Blood Covenant, one of the most classic, like, high pedigree competitive maps ever. Here, there's a little bit more room for I don't want to say error, but for surprises. Even Rafa's been surprised on this map before. So
yeah, I mean, it's Molten. Certainly a map where we do have those interesting moments. Normally seeing those slower starts, especially between these two champions, I wouldn't be surprised if this one takes a little bit of time to be eased into. But there's been a lot of aggression throughout the entire series so far. Well, looks like it is almost ready for this one to get underway. Then DaHanG on the Eisen, Scalebearer for Psygib, the third and final map in the series between these two.
Fight.
All right, best of luck to both of them. I'm going to be watching our underdog here, Psygib, starting with the LG corner. It's an okay spawn. You can get over to rail, and as long as your opponent's not going like super hard on rail, you'll usually get it first. But then it also means you're going to be defending from there immediately. But that's 3 rails in a row, 4 rails in a row for Psygib to open up the door and get all over DaHanG's floor. Rather, it's going to be DaHanG spread all over it. Make that 5 rails in a row. Doesn't need any other weapons. Well, apparently does. Here comes the bull rush. What's he going to do with it? He's going to clobber him down. And turn him into freshly pulverized mayonnaise. My god, that's 2 frags in 30 seconds. And Psygib has taken hardly any damage in the meantime. This might just be Psygib's side of the map. He doesn't want to leave here now.
Psygib has certainly got the claws out, but his insides are now coming out as DaHanG will blow him to bits, obliterate him with the rocket. Only a minute in and already a lot of blood has been spilled by everyone. I feel like the aggression from Psygib might be his best comeback strategy straight into this one as well. Just return to form, grab that Mega, and then start swinging. For DaHanG, the option seems to be exactly the opposite of that. He's got the heavy, he's going to start roaming, and right now just sets himself up on a perch. He's also got the early warning system of the turret down to detect Psygib if he comes around the corner.
Oh, we're not seeing the choo-choo just yet, but it might pop out here. Yep, there it is. And there's the knockback. There's the pin to the wall through the teleporter to the walls. Psygib certainly is sweating here. 24 HP, saying, please, just don't come around the corner, please. Give me some 25s. DaHanG's going to be back on the Mega, which means he's probably going to be behind Psygib at this point. Yeah, from the LG corner, you got to watch it at the very least. But Psygib just kind of waiting back out for the Bull Rush to come in because, yeah, Bull Rush in the Rail Room is pretty much a guaranteed hit, maybe even a map knockoff. It looks like that's where he's drawing the line in the sand. He wants that to be the fight. But there's the extra armor. Mega coming back up. DaHanG is going to go for heavy instead, which means on the exit, Psygib is going to return right back to the Rail Room.
Psygib. Same angle, same spot. Playing for sound, playing it slow, listening out. Starts to make his move again. DaHanG has the idea of where he is. Drops down, but the rail is going to land. And he's chasing him. Firing off the rockets will send him flying through the teleporter. A lot of damage done as well, and he's got time to wait, to grab himself the heavy, and then swing back on over. The battle for the Mega, but the missed rail means that he's been able to snatch it away.
It's awkward, but amusingly enough, he managed to get behind DaHanG here. Expecting him through the teleporter. DaHang's actually putting pressure on what is by rights Psygib's room. Oh my god, that was meaty! Oh, the bull rush to shotgun. I'm loving all the shotguns today. Good shit. And that's keeping Psygib in the lead, and the best part is for Psygib, he didn't take that much damage in the meantime. That's going to be a heavy going over to DaHanG, but I don't see DaHanG really doing too much about this Mega pickup.
Psygib firing off with a railgun. Now backing off. He's heard that totem come online, and he's trying to keep himself alive and breathing. Could be the knockout! But no ring outs tonight. Instead, it'll just be the full frontal assault with the rockets to blow him to pieces.
If you're DaHanG, you need to stop taking fights in the rail room. Just because you're getting more heavies right now doesn't mean you can just definitely avoid that bull rush. Usually the bull rush is of like limited use, but Psygib has found the most abusive way to make good on it every single time here. 4 up on 1 nearly halfway through. And this is not like Blood Covenant where it's like touch and go and he managed to get 2 rails there, so he's able to capitalize on that heavy. This is like, no, there's a thing that's working for Psygib, and DaHanG needs to figure it out. That time, Psygib kind of used the bull rush out of position. That was where DaHanG could actually RJ out of there. And now for the first time, we're actually seeing a fight on the Mega. And this is a fight that's going to go to DaHanG just barely, but that is the difference.
DaHanG, very low. He'll be tiptoeing his way around this, firing up the warning rockets, just hoping there'll be enough of a bigger pick shot to stop him from pushing in. Totem goes down, turret rather, as he is actually still just spamming away, down to 1 rocket, so he'll need to replenish these before his next encounter. Talking of replenishing his health at least, that Mega will keep him alive, but it's basically just on life support. He's been tagged down rail after rail. Psygib, a bit of a lunatic with the weapon at this point. Consistently hitting them, he does not miss.
This might be my favorite map of the day so far. This is awesome. Because Psygib, anytime he's forced to fight out of position, he's like, all right, fine, I'm just going to rail you 80 times. No big deal. There's turret. It's just going to break off the fight. But now Psygib is saying, please enter my chambers. Do you like biscotti? This is not the place, but he's still got the damage done. Oh, how did that rocket not? What? Okay. I guess I can't count. I thought DaHanG was dead there. But still, 2 frags down. DaHanG taking away that Mega. Snapping back in here for the heavy. 3 seconds to it. This is not a fight for Psygib. But it is a fight that will cost DaHanG some stack. Even after this armor pickup.
DaHanG, straight down. Roaming around. To launch himself over. The LG is out and he is stripping the life straight out of Psygib, and that will be a clean way to kill him. The railgun will find him. 5-5, it's all tied up. DaHanG, keeping it close to work with.
It's got to be frustrating for Psygib right now, watching his lead disappear. DaHanG has just gotten the eye of the tiger to take down that bull rushing skill bearer. 1 bit of LG at a time, and that's DaHanG taking the lead here for the first time. But right now, Psygib cannot turn that room into his fortress. DaHanG can leave Mega for free. Psygib's kind of forced to make a fight for it. Is this the place for it, though? Yeah. No. Answer's no.
Oh, DaHanG, not content with having a small lead. He wants a major one. It's all going his way. The shots are connecting very nicely. Smooth transitions on his tracing. Goes for the teleporter with the backstab. Good timing. Shotgun trying to keep him back. The bull rush is going to miss. Straight into the wall for Psygib, and straight down he will go.
All you have to do is jump on the scale bearer. Up, chuck the boogie. DaHanG looking for, yeah. That's not a corner you want to hang out on all the time. He's leaving it. Dot. getting into the ceiling. That's a long drop there to hang. Still 2 frags down for Psygib. He's trying to make something happen off the spawn. DaHanG's going to have to head back over towards Mega, but this is a good gap, a good time for Psygib to put some real pressure on it, forcing DaHanG to kind of hang out by the LG for a little bit of time and try to run back out. Psygib made the right read. He's not going to commit to the Mega. He's going to try to run it out the other way. But I still want the Mega. Can I accomplish both things at the same time? Well, with that rail, kinda. Just looking for DaHanG to make his exit. Oh, turret tattled on him. Turret.
Psygib.
You're not gonna reach him, buddy. Chosen one. I'm coming. Like, no, you're not gonna get there in time. But the damage is still good. Psygib just has to push back in towards the rail room from an awkward angle. This is not an ideal entrance, but DaHanG wasn't looking for him there. He was looking for him out the other side. He didn't hear the guy in Crocs stomping down on his back. So Psygib still was able to bully him off that heavy armor.
Full rush again, trying it another time. Let's see if his luck is going to be any better. The LG certainly will be, and it's close. It's only 1 frag that keeps them apart right now. Psygib might actually try and tie that up relatively quickly. He's going aggressive, fires out the warning shots. There is 7 seconds till Heavy's up, so we could have another scrap going down over there. He's actually sneaking in, should be able to secure it, make his move back round towards Mega. Is this going to go for DaHanG, though, as he peeks? The rail connections are coming out. The rockets are going down as well. He knows where he is, but he's got to find the frag now. That is going to be the big point. If he doesn't kill him, he can't take it to sudden death. He could swoop in on the Mega, but he just wants to get away. Is he going to be able to waste enough time?
Oh, this is dangerous, though. Psygib's got the bull rush. He's got a little bit of armor there. 2 seconds to the heavy. DaHanG's going to try to leave it. Yeah, just leave it, but still do a little bit of damage. But here comes Psygib. Oh, 6 feet, man, 6 feet. Oh, there's the LG just at the last moment to tie it up. 8-8. We are once again going into overtime between these two. Oh my God. Managed to pull it together with the LG with 10 cells remaining by the skin of his large alien teeth. I think Skildare has teeth. I've never seen him smile. But Psygib still has weapons. He still has armor. He still has Mega. DaHanG has the heavy at least, and that first rail off, but how long do they really want to trade here? Well, 2 is enough for Psygib.
Psygib wanting to build up that ginormous stack that he could rack up here on the scale. It's a little bit of a pickup, just the small light, waiting for the Mega, so he has tons of HP to play with. DaHanG has gone for the gamble on the heavy. Both of them now probably have the best they're going to get going forward. Should have heard DaHanG there. Did. Tried to adjust. That shot barely going to miss as it lands just on the back of his foot, missing him slightly.
I don't know if I like that. Psygib sees that there's no armor at the rail, and he leaves the rail. I don't know, man. You need that armor. This doesn't feel good for Psygib. But he's able to wait out for the heavy. That means free Mega for DaHanG. Where is he going to go on the exit? Psygib's looking for him. It's not trusting himself, though. It's not trusting DaHanG more. Is this wisdom? Is this the place where Psygib wants a fight to begin? Potentially. I mean, the entire equation flips around when you take into account the bull rush, but is this jump pad worth it? Oh my God, the timing on that! The bull rush misses, but the LG is real, and so is Psygib. He could not have timed that jump up the jump pad any better. Oh my God. I can't believe he got away with that. Even though the bull rush missed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, the last-ditched effort was the one that broke the camel's back there, taking it over the edge for Psygib. So at least he gets the one map to walk away with out of that series.
And not only is it a map, it's a map with a really strange champion choice, a very deliberate style of play, hardly ever going over towards the Mega. Every time Psygib went anywhere near the Mega, it went pretty poorly for him. But anytime DaHanG panicked and tried to run away, Psygib had an answer.
Yeah, there was always a response. There was always a counter. And he kept it close the whole series as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't a whitewash one side or the other. It was the fact it was a very grueling game every single time, decided by one frag pretty much for the most part the whole way through. So it's impressive how well he actually did play it. And it's a good takeaway to see benchmark-wise, Psygib is looking damn good at 10th position.
Yeah. Like I said earlier today, this is a time where, because the finals are not being played on land, this might be the time to actually pull out any of those weird strats you've been kind of, workshopping behind closed doors. If that is indeed what Psygib's been doing, maybe he just had a brilliant idea this morning and it worked out well for him. So a 2-1 series, but I will say that is the best one map to take away from DaHanG. That is impressive.
Yeah, it did look very, very good from Psygib. More glorious fragging action to come, though. As we get back into it, we are going to have a bit of a banger on our hands. Venga versus Cooler will be next.